Back at it with another video. Today's video, guys, we're talking about Jiri Prochazka versus Carlos Ulberg, the main event for the light heavyweight title bout at UFC 327. Guys, I'm so excited for this fight. This is going to be super entertaining. Remember, Alex Pereira vacated that belt to go up to heavyweight, so this light heavyweight belt is on the line, and I think Jiri Prochazka and Carlos Ulberg should both be happy that they don't have to fight Alex Pereira, or at least have to fight him right now, to retain this, to get this light heavyweight belt. So we got two new contenders. Obviously, we've seen Jiri a lot more at light heavyweight than we've seen Carlos Ulberg in terms of action-wise. I believe Jiri Prochazka has had 2 title shots, and this is his 3rd one. So it'll be interesting to see him go against somebody else, Carlos Ulberg, who's another hungry, young fighter who's coming up from CKB, City Kickboxing in New Zealand. He's trained with Israel Adesanya, Kaikar France, Dan Hooker, that group, Carlos Ulberg. And Carlos Ulberg's been very impressive, very long, rangy, good-ass hands. A problem for anyone in that division. I do feel and believe that these matchups were tailor-made for Alex Pereira. But for Jiri Prochazka, this is an interesting matchup because Jiri in his last fight looked really well against Khalil Roundtree, and then Carlos Ulberg got that finish his last fight. So I'm actually curious to see how this one plays out. I have this kind of like a 50-50 fight, more so leaning towards Jiri. I'll probably say 60-40 leaning towards Jiri. I do believe Jiri, because of the experience and everything he has, he should be a little bit more confident than Carlos Ulberg. But I do believe it's in the UFC's best interest to see Carlos Ulberg become a champion. A new face, city kickboxing roots with Israel Adesanya, and I think no one really wants to see if Pereira is unsuccessful in his debut at heavyweight and he has to go back down to light heavyweight. I don't think really anyone wants to see him have to fight Jiri Prochazka again. So for him to, for Carlos Ulberg to go out there and get this win, man, I think that's what the UFC wants ultimately. But tough test in Jiri Prochazka. I mean, this dude, he knows what it takes to win, and he's been there before in these high-profile fights, and he's beaten high-level competition. And I do think that, Carlos Ulberg, although it's an easier matchup than facing Alex Pereira, he still has to show up and fight hard because Jiri Prochazka is a warrior, and he has that warrior spirit. And I think when that cage door closes, he's not going to stop. I think he's much happier fighting Carlos Ulberg than having to rematch Pereira, and I think he sees it as an opportunity to become a 2-time light heavyweight champion. So I think Carlos Ulberg needs to be ready, and this is going to be a standing battle. This is going to be a striking fight. I do think we see a finish. I really do. I just think of the styles that they have. I think we see a finish, and I think if Jiri is super aggressive, those counters from Ulberg could be a problem. If Jiri is super aggressive, I think Jiri needs to take his time, be patient, use his range. I don't think Carlos Ulberg is as good of a kicker as he is just a straight boxer. Whereas for Israel Adesanya, his kicking was so overwhelming that even being at range was, not ideal for you if you were fighting him. But I think with Carlos Ulberg, if Jiri Prochazka can kind of stay out of range on the outside, bounce and move and step in and land when he needs to, I think he can find success that way. But I do think if Jiri is over-aggressive with Carlos Ulberg's crisp boxing, I do think he can catch him. And now we're looking at a situation where Carlos Ulberg is and new. So, man, very, very exciting fight. Like I said, I have a 50-50, 60-40 because of Jiri's experience, but nonetheless, it's going to be a very, very good fight. And I think if you're Carlos Ulberg, this is your moment. This is your opportunity. There's a lot of killers at light heavyweight. You got Khalil Roundtree, and you got a lot of people that are sitting there in the wings. So if this is Carlos Ulberg, you have to capitalize on this moment to take this belt. And if you're Jiri, man, you have a golden opportunity to have to beat another up-and-coming challenger and not face someone who you've lost to twice already. That has to feel refreshing, has to feel extra motivating to be able to fight someone new blood. So I think all in all, the fans are going to win this one. I think it's going to be a super entertaining fight, and I'm excited to watch it. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. Back in tomorrow, another video. Let's go.